Good evening, traders. This is Mike Rabinowitz reaching out to you guys on the 23rd of September. This is Thursday night. I'm fairly certain that when I spoke to you last, I talked about how Wednesday is always a transition day, and it's usually where the market says they're going to either rebound and get back into the bull trend and kickstart again. I mean, this has been a substantial run off the 4,300 low we made, I believe, at the end of the day Friday. So, right there, you got this huge run up. Now, most of this obviously was profit taking from a huge down day. That's expected. The rest of this was probably, as usual, anticipation of what the Fed was going to do. And most of the insiders know what's coming, and as a result, this is why you got this giant markup because nobody wanted to be cut short going into the Fed announcement, and as usual, they pleased and they provided what they wanted to hear, and that is that they're going to leave things alone for now. And the market continues to feed off of that information, and they continue to buy it up. I mean, there was multiple reasons to cover shorts, overextended sell-off. That's normal, and as usual, they you can probably look at every FOMC meeting that we've had in the last year, and I'm fairly certain we have rallied into all of them because they're always get this feeling like they're missing something, and the Fed, and at some point that dynamic is going to change. It's inevitable. It's just a matter of when. So when will the market start to factor in that they're going to raise rates? Because they're going to. So it becomes, what is that anticipation going to occur? So at the meantime, the market has found its legs at 4,300, fell a little bit shy of a full 10% correction. It probably would have took us down to about 42 and change in the ES. Didn't happen. And I'm not sure. We're going to have to just let this thing ride out. What you're seeing here, and this is why I really emphasize extreme trading and its importance, because you're seeing how badly it gets really blown out of proportion from both ends. You can look at the sell off and you're like, wow, well, how much of that was justified? How much of that was panic? It's a little of everything, okay? And yes, it always gets a little bit overdone, especially when people are panicking and the market has been so due for a sell off. But it also begins to show you just how eager investors are to take advantage of every one of these sell offs. And they're getting the support they need and from the Fed by them keeping money cheap. And as long as money's cheap, they're going to keep throwing it into stock. So it's and this run up personally, I think is a little overdone. I do expect this thing to retrace a little bit. Is it going to be a massive retracement? I just don't know. I really don't. I think that it's like they're purging every which way here, and they're just dragging people back and forth. They shook everybody out on the downside, and then within a heartbeat, they rammed. You got the bargain hunters who came in, profit taking after I think the Dow was down like, what, 8 and change on Monday? And then you just basically got this monster rally. I mean, look at that. You got 40 handles, 30 handles in the last handful of minutes, and they haven't looked back. And I want you to take a good note at where we've bottomed out at. Do you see it here? I'm going to show you this. This is how we do homework, guys. And as I'm doing this live, you take a look at these lows right here. And, you know, what do you think's here? I mean, you're sitting on the 50-day MA. Okay, so it's sitting in right about there. In fact, tomorrow's pivot is going to be your key number. It's Friday. I don't know. I don't expect him to give back much after this big run up. One never knows because it's a little overdone back to the upside, but it's Friday. I'm assuming they're going to want to hold on to as many gains as they can. So pay attention to the pivot. It's sitting at the 50-day MA. It's huge. It's a big deal. And you can see once we got above it, we've held it for now. I thought that we would not. I thought that we would maybe challenge it today and roll over, but obviously they had something else in mind, and it was like banner days were back happening again. And I'm not even going to show you this in terms of how this played out in all these other markets because I really thought the Dow was in big trouble. And I just want you to see what the Dow did. And the Dow rammed, this is already, it's 9 all the way down here. There's the 18. Where's the 50? Wow. So the 50 is way up here in the Dow. And price is still underneath it all, which means it's still a little vulnerable. Generally, when the 9 and 18 rip through the 50, it's usually price should continue to accelerate to the downside. But this is just a different market these days, guys. It's like, it just goes to show you how much money's out there and how badly they want to make it work for them. And I guess I can understand it. If stock is going to be cheap and interest rates are going to be low, then buy and buy as much as you can. Your rate of return is going to be better on stock than it is going to be on bonds with those low rates. Until the market really shows some vulnerability that differentiate that exchange is just not going to occur. And I keep thinking it will, but I haven't seen that yet. And these bounces are just amazing. They truly are. But that's the beauty of the market, and you take advantage of it. We can have opinions that we're blue in the face, and don't trade opinions. Definitely don't trade my opinion, but keep it in perspective and understand how price works around these moving averages and how this really affects like the big players and their portfolios. You got once we settled. I talked about this how the settlement was under uh, the 50 on Friday, and the overall pressure was back to the downside. And we talked about the target being at least 100, which it got to. And in fact, if I'm not mistaken, oh no, maybe not. I thought it settled down there, but it didn't. It rallied, and it rallied hard, and it didn't even fight back. In fact, for the records, I believe there's still a significant gap from 43. I don't know. I'm going to say 57 down to 42. It's give or take, but there's a gap down there. And gaps do get filled. I'm not telling you it's going to happen tomorrow. I'm telling you, it's there. So keep an eye on any type of rollover. Like I said, it's really where we're at the 50. How much are they going to push under the 50, if at all? And what is the support coming down? And that would be any hard break. I just don't see this coming. This is too far down. This trend line comes in at 43.47, which is the gap fill. So, if you get a huge sell off tomorrow, I mean, it's possible this could be a little wedge right here, but I don't know. I mean, they wouldn't have marked it up like this to just ram it back down, but you just never know. This is how the market works sometimes in mysterious ways. They get you leaning one way, and then they just make you suffer, and that's what they did with this sell off. I mean, when that bounced, and for the records, I actually bought them down there for when I caught that signal, and trust me, I like literally turned my head, and they just kept going. And it was a wonderful trade. It was great. Did I think that was going to be low? Not in a million years. Not even a clue. I did not expect that to be the bottom because the market looked like there was more coming, and you just felt it was due. But yet again, market is resilient, and there's a ton of money out there on the sidelines, and they're gonna eat it up. they're going to eat it up. It's not you, it's not me, it's somebody else. There's money that wants to work out there, and there's huge advantages, and that's a monster move. I mean, it went from 4,300 to 4,450. That's 150 ES points. That's almost 1,000. Well, let's see. What was the Dow? Let's take a look at this so we get this a little bit of perspective. Dow made a low of 13.5, let's call it, and it came back to 34.7, 33.5. That's just massive. That's a 1,200 Dow point rally. I mean, so once again, you can never take anything for granted. This market has teeth, and there's just opportunities all over the place. So let's just take advantage of what we can. I apologize for getting overanalyzing this, but I'm just trying to give you an idea of what you're seeing and how you should protect yourself here in this particular situation here. I wouldn't get too caught up and aggressive at these upper levels. I expect it to hold the 50 and the pivot. It might give back a little bit. It might be one of those days where they keep fading and fading and fading, and I mark it up late. I don't know. We're just gonna have to see how this plays out in the morning. So once again, guys, I hope you're trading well. I hope the analysis is helpful. And if you have any questions about your trading or what you want to do, or if there's something within this that you think could be helpful to you, please reach out to me at mlbino@aol.com. And I just appreciate the time that you guys even put into listening to my videos. I know they're long and they're drawn out, but I'm hoping that they're helpful. I truly am. So have a great night, and I hope you guys are having a good week. There's been great movement. So make money, guys. Take advantage of it. The opportunities are great. So the pivot, once again, to emphasize, that's also your 50-day MA. Huge area tomorrow. So I would expect this to hold. So pay attention, see what the institutions are going to do at this particular price point. And then that should set the tone for the rest of the session. So we shall see. Anyway, have a great night. Once again, thank you for your time, guys. I greatly appreciate it. Once again, this is Mike Rabinowitz at MR Strategies. You can follow me on YouTube, where I posted numerous videos, and I establish a library for you. If there's any more insights you want into how I come to my analysis, or how I determine strategies, please reach out to me. mlbiano@aol.com. Have a great night, guys. Take care.